Hi, Stephen from Owner Disown. Well, I've just purchased the new HP Pavilion 15. This time it's got the GTX 1650 graphics card in and the 9th gen i5 9300H CPU. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, click up here. That was for the i5 8300H and the 1050 Ti, and that retails around about $660. This one here is about $880 from Walmart. Put a link in the description below, and you can get a higher spec one, and I think it's perhaps more better value actually is the 8750H GTX 1060 model with 8GB of RAM, and that one goes for about $800 at Walmart too. That's on about $200 off. But this laptop has been very popular, probably my most popular laptop, because it offers good gaming performance at a fair price. I'd probably suggest waiting until this drops down to around about the $700 mark, perhaps. I'm sure it will do. So, of course, this is an unboxing first look, and then a full review will follow. And I'll probably do some live game streaming as well on it, So this is what you get in the box. Bare minimum, really. And the typical power supply. It's a 150 watt power supply. So that's nice and small. I do like that. So it's going to make it a very portable package. Get a warranty information and setup instructions. All basic stuff. Now, the problem with the last generation, it got really hot. There was no fan control, and I suspect the same is going to be here. And the fans didn't spin up much at all. So it did get very hot. I was managed to cool it. I had to downclock the CPU to 3.3 gigahertz. So the difference between the 9300H and the 8300H is only 100 megahertz in clock rate. We're looking at 2.4 to 4.1 gigahertz on this, so it's 100 megahertz less on the 8300H. So, and I suspect if this thermal throttles down, they're going to be pretty much the same. Again, it's a 4-core, 8-thread machine, and the 1650 GPU in it should be around about 25 to 30% faster than the 1050 Ti in the previous gen. So it is a good upgrade compared to that for sure, but it's still, quite a bit behind, probably around about 25-30% behind perhaps the 1060. So, so that's why I think that the slightly cheaper one with the 6-core CPU is a better value at the moment. So as before, we have an all plastic build, but it's a solid plastic and it's quite sharp looking. And of course, you got the reflective HP logo in the center, which won't light up. So it's ideal to take away somewhere. Now, of course, inside it's exactly the same as the previous generation as well. We have these ventings here. The keyboard layout is exactly the same. You've got the power button here, separate number pad. So there's no difference there. Quite a large trackpad, and again, that's made of plastic. Quite clicky, but it certainly seems quite responsive there. So like the previous generation, each key is actually painted green around the periphery, which does make it stand out, and the backlighting is green only. And the keyboard itself does have a little bit of flex, but at this price point you would expect that. Now, my main concern, of course, is this central hinge. Never been a great fan of it. I would suspect it could be a weak point just here. And if you look underneath, we have the air intakes here with the word Pavilion there, and you do have slightly larger feet here at the back, so it will be interesting to see how hot this one gets. So to get inside, remove Phillips head screws around the side. That's the easy part. Fit and finish is very tight, and now kudos to HP, because they do a very good job here. There's no gaps at all, so I recommend using a suction cup to create a bit of a gap so you can get inside. Once off, you have the 52 watt hour battery here, 1 terabyte hard drive. You have a Samsung PCI Express NVMe drive here. It's 256 gigabyte. You notice we have actually a Samsung 8 gigabyte DIMM stick here, and there's a spare slot here, so you really should be running dual channel. I'm surprised I don't have 2 4 gigabyte sticks at minimum here, but I will do tests with both dual channel and single channel. You've got the Wi-Fi card here, and of course the GPU here, CPU, and you have the two fans with shared heat sinks here. So it's going to, if one gets hot, the other one's going to heat up as well. So that's what's going to happen there. So on the left hand side we have the HDMI port, another USB 3 type A port, Ethernet port, and look at this. It's a USB-C port with a Thunderbolt symbol there. So I wonder if it could be a Huawei Thunderbolt 3. We'll test that. That's good. And then we've got an SD card here. Thickness-wise, at the front, it's around about 1 inch. Tapers down and about 1.25 inches at the back. So on the right, we have a combo headphone mic jack, 2 USB 3 Type A ports, and the power connector. On the back, there's no ports because you have the 2 heat sinks here, and it does look quite stylish with the Pavilion written here at the back. And its weight is £5 1 ounces, and with the power brick, £6. So that's pretty light, isn't it? So here we have Ava 64 CPU stress test running for about 32 minutes, and the clock rate has settled down to around about 3,700 megahertz at about averaging about 71 degrees, and it's spiked only up to about 86 degrees Celsius, so that's not too bad at all. And looking at the power, it's averaging around about 45 watts. But let's see what happens when we do a test including some GPU work, like TimeSpy at the same time. Okay, so running TimeSpy and Ada 64 at the same time, the CPU averaged around about the same, about 3,660 megahertz, so that was perfectly fine. And then look at the temperature, actually only spiked on one core at 92 degrees, averaging around about 74 degrees, 72, 74 degrees. So I think that is pretty good. I think this must cool better than the previous generation. So here's the Firestrike and TimeSpy scores. Total of 8,016 in Firestrike, 3,586 in TimeSpy. The graphics score being 9,237 in Firestrike with a physics of 11,314, and the graphics score in TimeSpy 3,517. So here we have the ASUS TUF505 on the right and the HP Pavilion on the left. Both 60Hz IPS panels to give you an idea of what the colour accuracy is like, and I actually think they're both quite similar. And here we have the backlight Pavilion on the left, TUF505 on the right, and they're both very good. Alright, so there you have it. Quick overview on the HP Pavilion 15, and I must admit, although the chassis is exactly the same as before, cooling did seem a little bit better there when I did the TimeSpy and Ada 64 combination test there. So anyway, I will put it through my full gamut of testing, and if there's anything in particular you want me to do, make sure to put in the comments below what you'd like me to do. So anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, like, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.